Level 1. The Outsider. You're 19 years old. Osaka, winter. You owe 380,000 yen to the wrong people, and you have 4 days to pay it back. You know how this ends. You've seen it end for other people. That's when a man in a black overcoat sits down across from you at the noodle stand. He doesn't ask your name. He slides a business card across the counter. No company, no title, just a phone number. If you want the debt to disappear, he says, call before sunrise. He leaves without paying for his own meal. You call at 4 a.m. 3 hours later, someone picks you up outside your apartment. You're driven to a small office tucked behind an ordinary restaurant. The room smells of incense and old cigarettes. A calligraphy scroll hangs on the wall. Beside it, a framed photograph of men in dark suits, taken decades before you were born. Take off your shoes. You kneel exactly where you're told. If you walk through this door, the man says calmly, your old life stays outside. You bow. The debt is gone by lunchtime. You now belong to them. Level 2. The Kobun. You're the lowest-ranking member of the organization. In Japanese, Kobun means child. The relationship above you is called Oyabun, which means parent. This isn't metaphor. It's structure. Your first 6 months, you do nothing that resembles crime. You serve tea. You wash cars. You stand outside meetings for 4 hours without moving. You deliver sealed envelopes without opening them. You memorize where every senior member sits at every meal. You learn who bows first, who speaks first, who pours the sake. The rules are never explained. You're expected to observe. One evening you arrive 3 minutes late to pick up your superior from a restaurant. He doesn't say anything. But he doesn't get in the car. He walks home. 2 kilometers. In the rain. You follow behind him the entire way. The next morning, your superior takes you aside. You embarrass the family. You bow. You don't argue. You don't explain. That night, you sit alone in your room and cut off the tip of your left little finger with a kitchen knife. This is called yubitsume. It's an apology. It's also a warning. The next time, they take more. Level 3. The Enforcer. 2 years in. You've moved up. You now handle collections for a small network of businesses in the entertainment district. Most days aren't violent. Most days are conversations. You visit a hostess bar that hasn't paid its monthly protection fee. You sit down. You order a drink. You wait until closing time. You leave. You come back the next night. And the next. 6 nights in a row. By the 7th night, the owner pays. Twice, you've learned the most important lesson of this level. Presence is louder than violence. Violence is expensive. Fear is free. You now earn 400,000 yen a month, tax-free. You live in a small apartment. You wear a plain suit. You drive a used Toyota. The senior members you serve dress even more plainly. One of them explains it to you over lunch. Drama attracts attention. Attention attracts problems. You start noticing that the men in the highest positions rarely raise their voices. They rarely speak at all. You start doing the same. Level 4. The Aniki. 5 years in. Someone calls you Aniki for the first time. Older brother. It happens without ceremony. A younger member simply uses the word. You look over your shoulder. There's no one behind you. They meant you. You now have 3 Kobun under you. You're responsible for their behavior, their debts, and their loyalty. If they steal, you pay it back. If they betray, you deliver them. If they die, you handle their family. The apartment gets bigger. The suit gets better. The car gets replaced with a black Mercedes. None of it is in your name. The organization owns everything. You're allowed to use it. That's the arrangement. You spend most of your day now in meetings that look like ordinary business meetings. Construction firms, restaurants, real estate, trucking companies. The Yakuza doesn't rob banks. It owns the industries that banks lend to. You review contracts. You approve subcontractors. You settle disputes. One afternoon, a legitimate businessman visits your office to discuss a partnership. He shakes your hand. He compliments the calligraphy on the wall. He has no idea who you are. Neither does his wife. Neither do his children. That's how the modern Yakuza works. It doesn't hide in shadows. It hides in plain sight. Level 5. The Waka Gashira. 12 years in, you're now the lieutenant of your entire regional family. Waka Gashira, second in command. You oversee 12 senior members. Below them, over 300 Kobun. Below them, an unknown number of associates. You control 46 businesses across 3 prefectures. Your daily schedule looks like a corporate executive's. You meet with lawyers in the morning, accountants at noon, bankers in the afternoon. You have a driver. You have a personal secretary. You have 3 phones, none of which are registered to your name. Then, the government changes. In 1992, Japan passes the Borikudan Countermeasures Law. In 2011, prefectural ordinances go further. Companies that do business with known Yakuza members can be prosecuted. Banks close your accounts. Insurance companies cancel your policies. Landlords refuse to rent to you. Restaurants ask you to leave. Your mother can't open a mobile phone account under her own name because of you. The organization doesn't lose to violence. It loses to paperwork. One afternoon, a legitimate business partner cancels a signed deal with you. He apologizes, bows repeatedly, says his legal department won't approve it. As he leaves, your superior watches him go and says quietly, "The world doesn't always defeat you with force." He straightens his tie. Sometimes it simply stops opening doors. Level 6. The Oyabun. 23 years in. Your predecessor retires. You are now the Oyabun of your family. You control an organization with 350 formal members and estimated revenue of 18 billion yen a year. You've never fired a weapon. You've been to prison twice. Once for 4 months. Once for 11. You wear the same 3 suits. You drive the same car. You've lived in the same house for 16 years. Your children were raised believing you own a construction company. Technically, this is true. Your youngest son is at Waseda University studying law. He has no idea. You will die before you tell him. The organization is smaller than it used to be. Membership in Japanese organized crime has fallen from 90,000 in the 1960s to fewer than 20,000 today. Every year, more of the old men die. Every year, fewer young men replace them. You are the ceiling. And the ceiling is closing in. Level 7. The Retired Ghost. You're 68 years old. You live in a small coastal town in Wakayama Prefecture. Population 4,200. You retired 8 years ago. You returned your titles. You paid your final debts. You transferred your businesses to your successor. You now run a tiny izakaya 3 streets back from the harbor. You cook. You serve fish that you caught yourself that morning. You have 6 seats at the counter. You wear a chef's apron. You wash your own dishes. You close at 10 p.m. The regulars know you as Suzuki-san. It's not your real name. It's not your original alias either. It's the 4th name you've used. Your left little finger is missing above the 2nd joint. When customers notice, you tell them you lost it in a fishing accident. They believe you. They have no reason not to. One rainy Tuesday night, a young journalist from Tokyo eats at your counter. He compliments the food. He asks how long you've been running the place. "A long time," you say. He orders more sake. He starts talking about a documentary he's making, about Japanese organized crime, about how the old bosses of the 80s and 90s are all dying out now. You listen. You smile. You pour him another drink. You wonder if he can tell. He can't. He pays his bill. He wishes you a good night. He walks out into the rain. You lock the door behind him. You turn out the lights. You sit alone at the counter for a long time. You were once one of the most powerful men in Western Japan. Tonight, you made 40,000 yen serving grilled mackerel. This is how it ends. Not in prison. Not in violence. In a small kitchen by the sea. Cooking fish for a stranger who will never know your name. The organization protects its own, until it doesn't need to anymore. You served your purpose. Now you're free. And nobody, not even you, is entirely sure whether that's a reward or a punishment.